During a recent event on The Companion, Brad Wright was talking to David from Dial the Gate. He was talking about the script that he never got to make, the script that MGM commissioned back in 2019. Welcome to Scitrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. One of the great privileges of my life, if you remove like having kids and stuff, was being invited to this event on The Companion and actually getting the opportunity to speak to Brad Wright. We've already put the 15 minutes we had up, but I wanted to give you guys some little clips from the rest of the interview because Brad Wright really did drop some really fascinating tidbits of information. While talking to David from Dial the Gate, he was talking about the script that he got to write for MGM back in 2019.
Stargate means to us is also what it means to you. You know, it's you can still come up with new great shows like Travelers and new ideas, but at the same time, you know, we can still go back and love this thing that you created with all these amazing people for 17 seasons.
Now, unfortunately, Scitrek dropped the news first and exclusively that Brad Wright was not going to be able to make that episode. He was not going to be able to come back and do a series of Stargate like most of us would dearly love. But he did tell us a little bit about the script that, unfortunately, is just gathering dust at MGM. One of the things he actually talked about was the fact that there was going to be a human-built Stargate.
And each series had its own, iconic Stargate. SG was the original one found in the desert. Atlantis was the digital one, which had a different look and feel and texture. And of course, the one aboard Destiny was the oldest of all and had that cool, I just love the design. James Robbins designed that one. And it looked like the Destiny itself. The chevrons within the Stargate were that shape.
Now, this Stargate was actually specifically built for a single task. It was going to be used to go to another galaxy.
I thought we needed a new one, and I thought, well, we can't find one. So, because one of my goals was to go to yet another galaxy, I'm giving away too much information again.
In another part of the interview, he spoke about how this new villain, this new enemy, was going to be coming from the same galaxy, which opens up a fascinating possibility. Did, in Brad Wright's script, we open the door for this villain to come to our galaxy? Did we build this Stargate specifically to join another Stargate network in a distant galaxy, and by going there, provoke this enemy into coming back into our own? Or did we have to build this Stargate, as Brad Wright describes, this shiny metal one?
Not to take work away from Gary Jones, but to not have to go Chevron 1 encoded at, a snail's pace, but to just have the sequence initiate and to have the whole thing spin really like powerfully and then koosh.
Or did we have to build this Stargate specifically for this task in response to an attack from a new enemy from this distant galaxy? We are never going to know because Brad Wright is very careful about not sharing too much information. I'm afraid we might have to wait for his memoirs to find out more. But I love the idea of us trying to figure out what exactly Brad Wright had in mind. He did say that Samantha Carter's fingerprints were going to be all over this new gate.
And I just wanted it to look powerful and human built. I just wanted it to have those qualities. And Carter would have her hands all over it, right? It would have been her brainchild.
And that basically she was going to have built it. We do know from other interviews that there was going to be a very small cameo from Richard Dean Anderson where he was going to turn up as retired General O'Neill and basically give Samantha Carter back her toothbrush, suggesting that they had been in a relationship, but that perhaps that relationship was now over. Something that would have literally broken the hearts of all the shippers out there. I actually do wonder, when thinking about how he might have done this episode, if this enemy did come to us first. So this enemy came through our Stargate perhaps and attacked us, that we knew from the signature or whatever that they had come from a different galaxy and that we weren't able to dial our own gate back into theirs. This would have mirrored Children of the Gods for me, the way that Apophis came through the gate at the very start of those episodes, kidnapping the guards at the gate. Now, that would be a very interesting way to kickstart the new series, mirroring the start of SG-1. Obviously, I'm absolutely certain Brad Wright would have done it in a different way, but the basic tone and feel would have been very similar to how SG-1 started. So Brad Wright has teased this script, and to be honest, I was heartbroken when I found out for the first time that Brad Wright was probably not going to be allowed to make it. That was really during the period when Amazon was still trying to finalize the sale to MGM. I heard basically that Amazon wanted to do something much bigger than basically what Brad Wright was thinking. Brad Wright was thinking about a TV show for the Sci-Fi network after all, even though I have heard rumors several times that Amazon were also going to be taking the international rights for whatever show he had made. COVID basically stopped Brad Wright from ever getting this made, but I think actually the sale probably would have stopped it anyway. But it is an interesting thought that we could actually be on our 4th season of Brad Wright's new Stargate if COVID hadn't have hit.
Yeah, it's 17 seasons is a giant chunk of my life. So I can't, and I would never turn my back on it. The desire to create different kinds of art, new shows is just because my brain I just keep coming up with stuff, and whether or not I may be retired, you never know, but hopefully I'm not, and I get another chance. I thought that was going to be Stargate for a little while, and I went, do I really want to do this? Sure, you can do this.
I have to say, the thought that Brad Wright is putting down the pen or closing the laptop on his career, and he is now in semi-retirement, it's just awful. It's just a horrible thought. He has given us so many brilliant stories over the years. He's written some of my favorite sci-fi ever. He gave us my favorite shows ever. I really, really hope that Amazon get over themselves and pick up the phone to Brad Wright. And maybe he could return to Stargate. Just maybe. Instead, it looks like Amazon are going a different way, and we're going to be getting a cinematic movie instead. But until that's announced, we really don't know for sure. All I can say is, I really wish Brad had got his way, because it sounds to me like he had some very interesting ideas about how to move forwards with the Stargate franchise. And at the end of the day, who do you trust with Stargate? Is it some unknown, or is it Brad Wright? For me, always Brad Wright. But guys, what do you think about this purpose-built Stargate idea? Why do you think it was necessary? I'd love to know your ideas. At the end of the day, this is all conjecture. We're just spitballing here, but isn't that half the fun? I'd love to know exactly what you think, though, so get into the comments. If you are new to the channel, like, subscribe, hit all the buttons, you know what to do. Also, you can go to patreon.com/Scitrek, where most of our new videos appear first, and you, for a small contribution each month, even get a free gift after 3 months, and you get to watch it without the damn adverts. Also, you can go to scitrek.co.uk, which is our dedicated website where we do articles based on most of our videos, and we try to add a little bit more detail there for you to digest, so go and check it out. As always, please stay safe, and I'll see you next time.